You know what they say, no one stays dead in comics except for Bucky, Jason Todd, and Uncle Ben. Well, at least Uncle Ben's still dead, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to WatchMojo's Troped, the series where we deconstruct the cliches, archetypes, and story devices that won't go away. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. In this episode, we're taking a look at resurrection, the act of bringing a character back from the dead. The history of storytelling has proven that, in contrast to our own reality, death doesn't have to be that big of a deal for our favorite heroes. Be it a comic book superhero, film baddie, or Kenny, characters will often appear to die only to come back to life at a later date, with explanations for their resurrection ranging from the supernatural to the super lazy.
Oh my god! Oh my god! They killed Kenny! You bastards!
This happens all the time in comics, with the likes of Batman, Superman, and Captain America all having returned from the afterlife, just to name a few.
I won't fail him in death.
Resurrection is one of the oldest story tropes in the business. So old, in fact, that it predates any film, comic book, or television show by a few thousand years. Many ancient civilizations believed in resurrection, with written accounts of gods being brought back to life peppered throughout the cultures of ancient Egypt and Greece. Of course, the most famous story of resurrection belongs to none other than Jesus Christ, who, as the story goes, was resurrected 3 days after being crucified.
Mary, that is good.
In pop culture, this trope has persisted for as long as the entertainment industry has existed. From the works of Shakespeare all the way up to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, characters have continued to be resurrected both literally as well as metaphorically as one of the major steps of the standard hero's journey. Batman climbing out of the hole and being born again in The Dark Knight Rises is one example of a different kind of resurrection. In terms of literal resurrections, this trope has been played out on the big screen countless times. Some, like Gandalf's return in the second Lord of the Rings movie, were epic and memorable.
I felt life in me again.
While others, like Landfill being killed then quickly replaced by his identical twin brother in Beerfest, have been downright silly and poked fun at the wildly strange ways this trope can play out.
If it wouldn't be too uncomfortable, I was hoping maybe you guys could call me Landfill, in honor of him.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
The important thing to remember is that a resurrected character can come back in a variety of ways, often having gone through dramatic physical or mental changes. Take The Matrix, where Neo is brought back to life moments after being killed, now with the ability to stop bullets in their tracks, ultimately allowing him to defeat Agent Smith, who also comes back to life in the next movie.
Surprised to see me?
You may find yourself asking, why do characters get killed off in the first place? While the death of a hero, sidekick, or evildoer can have a dramatic effect on the story, it can also increase readership and boost sales. When Jean Grey died at the end of 1980's The Dark Phoenix saga, that was meant to be the end of that character. But she returned years later with a retcon that absolved her of all the crazy evil murdering she had done as Dark Phoenix.
I destroyed a solar system and reveled in it.
Phoenix did, not you!
Another famous example is the death of Barry Allen, aka The Flash, in the hugely successful Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover from 1985. It was a landmark moment in comics history, and he wasn't brought back for over 2 decades, but in comics, what goes up will eventually come right back down, even if it takes a while. The most famous example of this trope run amok is 1992's The Death of Superman. In this infamous story arc, the Man of Steel appears to be killed during an intense battle with Doomsday. DC got a ton of publicity for killing their most iconic character. But he couldn't really be dead, could he? Of course not.
Over my dead body.
Turns out Superman wasn't dead. He was just in stasis, regaining his strength, finally awaking in practically full health a few issues later. Oh, and he also now had super long, luscious hair fit for a 90s hockey star. So the death of Superman turned out to be the power nap of Superman, and fans were more than a little disappointed with the misdirection. This arc is cited as a huge turning point as DC went on to kill and then quickly revive a bunch of their characters, due in large part to the financial success of the story, despite fan backlash.
There's only one S in resurrection.
Didn't realize proofreading was one of your superpowers.
No one wants to see their favorite character bite the bullet and stay gone, and from a marketing standpoint, killing off a major character only to have them resurrected at a later date is pure gold, where creators can have their cake and eat it too. Fictional worlds depend on the protagonist to drive the plot forward, and character deaths are simply too dramatic and effective to pass up, even if everyone knows they're just temporary. Cheating death has always been and always will be interesting to us mortals, no matter how predictable it's become.
He is the one.
So what do you think? Do you believe resurrecting a character is the ultimate marketing stunt? What are some of your favorite examples of the resurrection trope?
You have no power here, Gandalf the Grey.
Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.